Hi, everybody. This is Pastor Tim Madison from Bainbridge First Baptist Church, Bainbridge Island, Washington, with a message for you from God's Word. I hope you know by now, if you've been watching, that all this week we've been thinking about the Christian's thought life from Philippians 4:8, where the Bible tells us, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. In these verses, Paul emphasizes the need that we have for a good thought life. You know, the Christian life is more than just the external. It's more than a list of rules, obeying do's and don'ts. And, the Christian life is also something that's internal, and it's made up out of something that's more challenging than a set of rules, and that is turning our mind toward Christ. And today we're going to think about what it means to uh, think about things that are lovely. We may think of lovely things as those that are attractive in some way, but this word is so much more than that. The word that's translated lovely is from a beautiful compound Greek word, prosphile. It's from pros, it means toward, and phile means a friend or a loved one. It's talking about thoughts that turn us toward loving others. Those are the thoughts that call out love from us. And let's face it, there is very little love in our world today. People are so divided and so hostile. It seems like there's almost no hope. Our world is the Titanic, and the best Christians can do is guide people to the lifeboat. There are those whose minds are so set on vengeance and punishment that they call forth bitterness and fear from others. And there are people who are set on criticism and rebuke that just results in resentment in others. But the mind of a Christian is one that should be set on things that are lovely, that call forth love, kindness, and sympathy and forbearance, so that he is a winsome person in a sense, and one that you love just to know that person, someone who's lovable. We should be asking ourselves when thoughts come into our minds, will this thought produce rest and peace? Will giving attention to this particular thought produce strife within you or between you and another brother? Uh, if it's the former, as the saying goes, hold that thought. There's the latter, cast it aside. Psalm 119:37 says, turn away mine eyes from beholding vanity, quicken thou me in thy way. It's a little like this. If you have a potted flower in your room, you probably have noticed that the flower will turn toward the light. If there's a window in your room, it'll face that direction where the light is. And you can turn the pot so that it's facing toward the inside of the room, but you know what's going to happen? The flower will turn itself toward the light, always toward the light. And there's a lesson to be learned there. We should never permit our thoughts to be inclined or turned toward anything that's sinful. To yield a moment's sinful thought is to defile the soul. It's one of the main messages of the Bible. Turn from the wrong, uh, the base and the crude and the unworthy. Turn toward the right, the pure and the noble. Always turn toward the light of life. We should not allow an unholy thought to stay a moment in our minds, but constantly turn toward Christ in our thoughts. He's the Holy One. Psalm 101:3 said, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. And that should be our attitude toward the world around us. We should train our minds to constantly turn toward Christ, the light of life, constantly turn toward thoughts that will lead us toward others. Isn't that a great idea? Let's concentrate on things that are lovely, my friends. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow.